Mm-hmm.
Um, got any other ideas?
Pop. This probably falls into
Pop.
pop.
Yeah, you're definitely right. They took the music off of pop music.
Just pop. Could be bubble wrap. Could be music.
Yeah, it's just pop now. I think they got. Did they get rid of all the music? No, they still have some. Like punk. Like if you're gonna just have pop, why not take off punk music? Like you don't need to say punk music. You can just say punk, and you'll know
Well,
it's probably punk music.
I guess not. Maybe just think it'd be punk like the noun.
Well, surely pop would be confused with pop culture then.
That's true. I don't know. I don't know how the mindset Twitch work.
But pop culture has its own tag.
Maybe they just expect you to understand the intricacies.
I think they don't themselves. Do we get to put classic rock since Billy Joel, Elton John, Billy Joel Armstrong is in it?
Billy Joel Armstrong.
Elton John's one of the tracks.
Elton John is, yes. Elton John's on it. I don't think we get to though. Even that song isn't really classic rock, so
no, it's really not, especially one part of it. But yeah, how was your Saturday? You didn't hop on it. Oh, you had the party, right, during the highest spike of the U.S. coronavirus cases.
Okay, calm down. It was literally me and my roommates watching a movie.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah, watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Great movie.
Didn't we watch that? I think we watched that.
We did. Yeah, we wanted to watch something that had a little spooky, but something kind of a horror comedy, right? And that's the best one I could think of.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the point of it is it's such an absurd situation that's why they made the movie, but it just makes me uncomfortable. Like,
why?
I don't know. It's like, oh, that sucks that happened.
No, it didn't really happen.
I know, but that's like, I don't like watching movies of things that I wouldn't like to happen, you know? Does that kind of make sense?
I mean, I think that's going to be any horror movie ever, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to have a horror movie where everything just goes right.
Well, I mean, I think my issue where I'm coming from is because it's just real life, right? Like if it's sci-fi, fantasy, I'm fine with it. But I don't watch a lot of real life movies. You know what I'm saying?
It's too close to home.
Yeah.
You like the escapism.
Yes, I'm very much into entertainment for escapism.
You don't like you want to escape the world of just mindless repetitive work while you play games like Factorio.
Okay, hold on. that's sci-fi.
Okay. But no, I get your point. You just find it more enjoyable overall.
Right. Or like that other one we watched. Oh shoot! It had Seth Green in it. It was basically just a bunch of famous people being themselves.
Scooby-Doo 2.
No.
Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah.
Seth Green.
That
one hit too close to home.
No, I'm talking about Hey God, it's Jonah Hill. From Moneyball, that movie.
Oh, This Is the End.
This is the end. Yeah.
That wasn't Seth Green. That's Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Did I say Seth Green? I get them mixed up. I'm better with faces than I am with names. I can tell them apart, but I mix up their names all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That one was too real for you?
Well, I think there was a lot going on at the time, and I'm like, I don't want to watch a depressing movie right now. And you guys are like, come on, let's watch it.
This Is the End is not depressing.
Depending on your state of mind.
About a bunch of rich assholes who are in a comedy situation. It's one of the least depressing movies I've ever seen.
Really?
Jonah Hill, yeah. Jonah Hill from Moneyball.
Excuse me.
And I guess that probably falls within the horror comedy aspect too.
Yeah.
That would have been a good movie.
I guess I'm not a big fan of horror comedy. I think that's what it
Maybe
is.
just don't like horror.
That too. I mean, but well, I don't know. I like Alien and Aliens, but that falls more into thriller, doesn't it, than horror?
And it's in space, so that kind of colors your.
Yeah, I'm a bit biased.
I think you just like space movies. You like documentaries, so
Yeah,
it's about as real as it can get.
yeah, but there's a line for with that. I feel like I'm being educated. You know.
You're learning something.
Mm-hmm. It's like, well, this is real, so it's important to know it's happening. Versus, hey, this is a really crappy situation. It's not real, but it's supposed to be entertainment. You see where I'm coming from?
I guess. Like, I don't want to learn. I want to laugh.
But I don't know. I don't find those as funny.
Well,
if I want to laugh, I'm going to watch either stand up or like an actual comedy movie.
Like Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I've never seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It's got some scary parts in it.
Does it?
Yeah, Large Marge. That's a pretty scary point.
I mean, I can hear you smiling as you say that, but I have no context for this, so I don't know if that's a joke.
No, it's a legitimately scary part of the movie. Gets picked up by a ghost trucker.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like this creepy claymation thing.
Hmm.
Tell him Large Marge sent you. Good movie, though. Pretty funny. Yeah, so suppose we can jump into the review if you want to.
Sure.
So, hey everybody, welcome back to the Audio Shop podcast. We are here with a hot off the presses album.
Very hot.
This is about as new as you can get, because this was released on this Friday, 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it's a lot of lead-up's been done to this album. This isn't exactly a shadow drop.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd both, before the album actually came out, we'd both listened to the album at least a couple of times before it even released.
Or at least the majority of the album.
Yeah, majority of the album.
Which, yeah, but they're good songs, so I enjoy listening through it again.
Yeah.
It's almost like this was like a deluxe edition of what I've already kind of listened to.
Except we didn't actually listen to the full deluxe edition. We just cut it off.
I should probably give the background on this album.
Yeah, go for it.
It's basically, so you all know the Gorillaz. We reviewed them like, what, this is our fourth Gorillaz review now?
We did, the first one was their last new album.
The Now.
So we've what is this, episode 52? We've had 52 episodes between Gorillaz album releases.
Something like that. It's like episode 40. It's the 47th album review.
We've had a couple of doubles in there, though.
That's true. So maybe like up to 50.
I'm just going off what your document says. Oh, it says 47, right? I don't know where I got 52 from.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was the Now. We also did Plastic Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe this is only our third one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because we haven't done Demon Days. We haven't done their debut. We definitely didn't do Humans.
No. We definitely did not do Humans.
So yeah, this must be our third.
This is the third then.
Third Gorillaz review. Like I said, this one's about as fresh as it can get. This is brand spanking new. It was released just 2 days ago. Gorillaz, of course, is the British virtual band created in 1998 by Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett. It's got its virtual members, 2D, Murdoch, Noodle Wrestle, all fictitious, but they kind of lend themselves to this kind of universe. It's a very unique premise for a band. Very novel. And they've been around since 1998, so they've had some staying power. It's an old band now, Sam. This is no longer new. This is what the kids call old music, dad rock. But they've sold like millions, tens of millions of records. And this new project of theirs, Song Machine, is kind of a new venture for them. So their last album in 2018, the Now, was a pretty standard release, right? Drop an album, people like it. This one was more like starting since like a year ago. They've like once a month they've dropped a new song with a new music video in it. and they dropped like 8 singles, something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
Like a lot of.
I was under the impression it was like they're trying something new. For some reason, I never thought that these would be compiled into an album, but I'm just stupid. So,
Yeah, no. I think it was meant to be enjoyed kind of like as a single experience, but obviously, you want to be able to sell a full album. So they did that here, and yeah, so this is almost like a full singles album in a way, which is very interesting. Like almost every song in here, more songs than not, have music videos on this album. And they're introducing like a wide range of genres. You got some punk rock, some synth pop, a little bossa nova, and of course a bunch of electronica. I'll just describe. This is how they describe the Song Machine. End quote. Song Machine is a whole new way of doing what we do. Gorillaz breaking the mold because the mold got old. World is moving faster than a supercharged particle, so we've got to stay ready to drop. We don't even know who's stepping through the studio next. Song Machine feeds on the unknown, runs on pure chaos. So whatever the hell's coming, we're primed and ready to produce like there's no tomorrow. End quote. So, kind of just, ideas hit you and then you spring it off. Which I think kind of plays into the feature list on this album, which is another feature of it, is the fact that every single song of this has a significant feature on it. No, just pure Gorillaz. It's got a new person on every single song, sometimes multiple new people. So it's kind of like Humans, but if it was good.
Yeah, definitely. Humans was pretty bad. And I think that's probably why they did such a drastic shakeup. I mean, the Now was good. Or did
Humans
come out after?
No. The Humans was, I think, 2016. Now was 2018. Okay. Of course, this one. Yeah, Now was kind of like a step back of just like pure, like David Albarn music. But this one's kind of going back into the more, feature-heavy Plastic Beach era type of thing going on, which the Gorillaz are so well known for. But yeah, so that's the basic background of the album. And of course, so we should probably preface before going into that we're reviewing the standard edition, which is 11 songs, Strange Times to Momentary Bliss. There's also a deluxe edition, which adds on like 6 new songs to the back of the album. So it bumps it up like by like 25 minutes. We were just doing the standard album, but I've also listened to the deluxe edition. It's also good. There's definitely a little more B-side songs. But they got some cool features on there. Earth Gang, JPEG Mafia.
But good stuff. I think we made the right choice with the standard, just because cutting it off at Momentary Bliss is, that's kind of, it's a tight set,
Yes.
And we'll get to that when we get to Momentary Bliss, but.
And the only track I didn't listen to of theirs was their, of course, Japanese deluxe edition exclusive. But yeah, we're just reviewing the standard 11-track album. And with that, Sam, you wanna jump right into it?
Sure. I didn't type the tracks out beforehand, so let me do that now with track number 1, Strange Times with
Strange Times, which is also I guess I should also say that the full we're calling the Song Machine, but the full album title is Song Machine, Season 1, Strange Times. So presumably they want to do this into 2021 as well, just given that title.
Yeah, it's Season 1, right?
An ongoing experience, yes, Season 1. And I think each song was called like an quote-unquote episode when they were releasing them, so.
I mean, there was a lot of music videos. Usually music videos feel a bit few and far between, but they've been pumping them out.
I mean, like I said, there's 8 music videos for this 11-track album.
Yeah.
So very music, and they're all animated too, which is highly impressive.
And they're telling each one is progressing the story. Although, what was it? The latest one with Elton John. That one was no. I'm thinking of the Moon one. The Moon one is kind of just a filler episode, so to say.
The gang goes to the moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all very visually entertaining, so I recommend giving them a watch. But
they've always been great.
Track number 1, Strange Times, featuring Robert Smith.
Yeah.
Robert Smith, of course, being the lead singer of The Cure.
Never heard of him.
Really? They are the one they sang Friday, I'm in love. You know that song. Monday morning feels so blue. Tuesday, I get home. You know that song?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's The Cure.
that's this guy.
Yeah.
Phew, I was gonna say I really didn't like his voice. It grew on me as the song goes on. It fits really well with the dissonant chaos, but right at the start, and I've listened to the song a couple of times, but I was just like, I don't really like his singing.
I mean, Friday, I'm in love probably came out like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah,
So I'm sure as Elton John will show us later this album, voices change.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long it had been since I heard current Elton John. I mean, I've never heard current Elton John because I only listened to his recorded stuff. But
yeah, most people only listen to his stuff from the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Robert Smith's got a very distinct, kind of shouty, reverby.
Very distinct.
Which it grows on you. It's got this kind of British charm to it.
Mm-hmm.
That just teeters on being grating, but also it kind of plays in this kind of... the backing track has this kind of ominous, dissonant piano tone, and these kind of ever-present, like, growing tension of electrical vibes. So I think the voice kind of plays into that.
Dissonant chaos is what I call it.
Yes. Which this whole song is kind of like a build-up, or at least the first 2 minutes of it are, until you get like to the 145 mark, and then it kind of bursts open with the drums coming in full and the electrical sounds filling out. And then that's when Smith's voice kind of works its magic. Okay, I see what they're going for.
Yeah. It definitely grew on you the longer the song went on. At the start, it was like, why is this guy the main singer? And then you're like, okay, actually, this is really nice. I will say it did feel kind of lacking in the lyrical department, with a large portion of the lyrics being spin around, but it has plenty going on instrumentally throughout. It evolves really nicely. It starts off a bit, less, and it builds continually throughout the song. And it just kind of piles on instruments throughout the song until it reaches the peak right near the end, and then just cuts, which is a nice touch, I thought.
Yeah, it's going for like a weird mix of like groovy and creepy, like a Halloween themed dance floor. Very appropriate, given it's Halloween's coming up next week.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like got this haunted dance club vibe that I really dig, and of course Smith's vocals work well over it, and then also David Albarn's 2D's vocals also work because he always has that very like kind of like kind of reverby monotone voice he does every now and then.
The classic 2D voice filter.
Exactly.
He has that filter in like every single
like
Gorillaz
every
song.
single album.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's just the style.
Yeah. And it works on this song for sure.
And they usually play with the filter on different songs to make it sound better, but there's always a little bit of something going on. Some of the filters on the different songs not very good, and I'll admit that on this album at least. But
yeah, but I think this song's an extremely strong opener.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine them putting it anywhere else but the opener.
It's dancey, it's creepy. Robert Smith's very good use of a feature.
Yeah, and, with all the chaos going on, you couldn't slap this in the middle of the album. It's too out there.
Yeah. No, it feeds into it. Yeah.
Jumping to track number 2, if you're ready.
Yeah. Track number 2, The Valley of the Pagans, featuring Beck. You familiar with much of Beck's music?
I think so. He was in that one episode of Futurama, right?
Was he?
With the washboard solo?
Maybe. I know him from...
that song doesn't normally last 40 minutes, but we got into a groove.
I mean, I know he's from the song Loser. You know that one? I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? You know that one?
I might recognize it if I hear it, but it's not ringing any bells.
Yeah. That's the most popular one, but yeah, this is another kind of old head British guy. Or I guess Beck's American, but...
Well, you say that, but his singing style fits really well with because this one felt to me like a more classical Gorillaz style, at least later era, so to say, more chill-esque, like the now kind of now-ish.
Yeah, but with a very strong electronical bass.
kind of, I don't know. What was I going to say? No, that's a different song. But he does sound kind of British in this. I agree with you.
And maybe he's just doing that because it's, obviously the Gorillaz is a British band, but maybe just feeding into that. But the song, the instrumental's really real funky. It's got these like kind of almost like bloppy tribal drums and this very distinct like fat synth chord backing that's like ever present throughout this song.
Mm-hmm. And I actually heard the lyrics a bit more on this one. I think it was the only one. But at one point, 2D says he has to take 100 million Viagra tablets.
And that one I heard, I'm like, okay.
That really stuck up over the mix. I was like, I think he needs to go to a doctor.
I mean, Gorillaz songs, their lyrics are usually a lot more out there, or maybe less coherent than your average song.
Yeah, that's true. Running through them in my head. But this one felt like especially complete gibberish. But it sounds really good. It's really good gibberish.
Good. Yeah. It's got these synth chords jumping around, some tasteful clapping, very far back in the mix, but just enough that it adds some energy.
I didn't even notice it, so that's good. Green Day is completely... I mention it later, but Green Day just completely ruined clapping for me. Thanks, man. I don't know what it was about that album. I think every song had the 2-1 clap on it. That was
Father of All earlier. Which I can't blame. It's like not clapping isn't bad by itself, but like now it's got like a negative connotation in my mind.
Yeah, and it's not like I want to. It's not like the clapping makes it bad. It's just that I've become hyper aware, so that taints my view of it.
It makes you think, no, I won't like this.
Yeah, exactly. But there was at 2 minutes in this one, the synth plays the same line as the slightly auto-tuned vocals, and that provides a really cool effect. I really dug that. It went on for like 45 seconds or so, and it was just really nice.
Yeah, this for the entire album, considering how much they were, it's quite a lot of material. The full deluxe edition is like an hour, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The instrumentals are very tight, very fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you consider they're working with so many different features and artists. This song's another bop.
It is. I don't know if you got this feel, Cooper, but for some reason, as the song was wrapping up, it just felt like a very 2000s-esque song.
No, it was definitely very throwback. And I'm not sure that's because, Beck's kind of known from his work from the 90s, or the Gorillaz just went... I mean, the Gorillaz are from the 90s, basically.
Yeah.
They started in 98. Yeah. So a very throwback song, like a danceable electronica song.
Yeah, it just felt like that early 2000s kind of feel. I don't know. Jump into track number 2 if you're ready.
Yes, track number 3.
3.
The Lost Chord, featuring Leee John, who was the lead singer of the band Imagination, a soul band, like an 80s soul band.
Huh.
Got that kind of disco feel to it.
Now, did you add one too many E's here, Cooper, or he is actually...
No, his name is spelled with 3 E's.
Okay.
I double checked. It's a Leee John.
Alrighty.
Lee. But knowing that, it becomes a little more obvious why there's such a good falsetto in this song, because you got the lead singer of a kind of Earth, Wind, and Fire-esque band being your feature.
And it's a complete style change again. Strange Times was completely different from Valley of Pagans, and Valley of Pagans is completely different than The Lost Chords. And it felt very refreshing to have it so varied. And I don't know if that's a symptom of, the Song Machine just being a bunch of singles that they did and they slapped together into an album, but it has a weird coherency to it so far.
I think the Gorillaz have, like, humans excluding, the Gorillaz have a good track record of, like, having albums with just a bunch of features, like still having that single through line of obviously Damon Albarn and co, kind of like having their footprint on everyone, even though they're kind of filtered through their artist. So in this one, you still have this kind of synth-heavy, low-key song that's almost like the smooth nighttime melody. But then you have, like, Leee John's vocals, like falsetto vocals kind of floating over them. It adds this very relaxing, almost hypnotic vibe to it.
Mm-hmm. I will say I had a very slight complaint I felt like the chorus popped up just a bit too much in this song. But I think that was mainly because of how closely I was listening and taking notes. Because I think I've listened to it before, and I never noticed that before.
I know the chorus repeats a couple times. There's not like a lot of the verses aren't super long, but I kind of attribute to this kind of being, like I said, kind of that mood song, right? It's kind of trying to get you into a headspace, so in a hypnotic kind of way. So maybe not the most like building song, but it keeps a very consistent pace.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, I like Lee's vocals.
Yeah, they fit the style Gorillaz has been great throughout the Song Machine about writing songs that not only work with their own vocals, but with the features vocals.
Which is interesting given that Duty's Damon Albarn's vocals are particular. Like his isn't like a generic style.
No, it is not. I will say, I think there's one song that we'll get to where it definitely does not work, but all the rest, it works pretty dang well.
And also it's on a nice little note where like there's like these building strings. It kind of ends on these kind of seagull noises that kind of floated out.
Yeah, it was a very nice and chill song. Nice little respite after the two more energetic ones.
I like reviews to a surprising ratio of albums we reviewed have like seagull noises on them at some point.
Yeah, well,
this is even the first time that Gorillaz has done it. It was also on Plastic Beach.
That was Plastic Beach, though.
That is beach.
You're gonna see seagulls at the beach.
Yeah.
Jump into
no, I'm complaining. I like them.
Track number 4, if you're ready.
Track number 4, Pac-Man, featuring Schoolboy Q.
They probably had to get the licensing rights to be able to call it
they used the song ends with the Pac-Man death noise, so they definitely had to get that right. But yeah, so this one is if Supposed Valley of the Pagans was kind of a throwback 2000s kind of dance pop. This one's extremely like early Gorillaz throwback.
Yeah,
like with this like very ploppy, squeaky beat. That just kind of jumps with the electronica. Like it's very playful.
That electronica mixed in there though really reminds me of Humans. The little bit of Humans that I listened to.
Yes. Yes, it's like the good thing of Humans.
Yeah.
Without the trash, which does make me my one regret with this album because there's no Snoop Dogg feature. I feel like this beat especially could have been a good Snoop Dogg feature.
Hasn't he been on every album up to this point?
Probably the majority of them. I can't remember if he was on the Now or not.
I actually, you know what? Saying that now, I don't think he was on Now.
But that didn't have like any features on it,
no,
so that'd be
Jack
understandable.
Black, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And he was just playing guitar. He wasn't even.
Wait, no. Sorry, he was on Now. He was on Hollywood.
Oh.
He was like one of 2 features on that album.
I think I always skip that song when I listen to the album, so that's probably why.
Yeah, no Snoop Dogg feature, unfortunately. Single tier. Maybe I'll be on season 2.
Oh well.
But on this song, yeah, super fun backing instrumental.
Yeah, I love the bass.
Kind of adds to like the video gamey feel, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I especially love the switch at like the 1 minute mark. It kind of switches this more like guitar dreamy led section. It's a super smooth transition. I didn't even notice the first couple times. I'm ooh, the instrumentation kind of completely changed up here, and it's such a good switch off.
Yeah, there was a lot of good things done in this one. I don't know if you picked up on it, but they actually did stereo well. Can you believe it? There's a way they do stereo well.
Which part were they doing there?
It was happening throughout, but what was happening is the hi-hat jumps between the left and the right, which gives a really cool effect, and it happens so fast that you really have to, listen to it to pick up on it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
so,
but that's how stereo is supposed to be done. It's not supposed to be all the instruments are in one ear and then nothing's in the other.
Yeah, I guess great stereo is preferably not super.
Yeah.
What if we just have Ringo in the left ear and then everything else in the right ear?
We can also have a tuba jumping between sides.
So if one of your earbuds breaks, it's like you're just hearing a drummer in a cave.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the rap feature on this, I will say, I feel like there were some missteps on this song because the rap feature is really good, but the instrumentals kind of leave them out to dry at 150. He comes back in at 2:15 in a slightly different style that stands alone really well, and there's not really any instruments on it under him, so it works. But before that, at 150, he's kind of doing a more sing-song style that needs the musical backing, and then they just drop it all out.
It is kind of, the rap section with Schoolboy is kind of split into like two sections, where it's like a little more aggressive starting section, and then kind of a more subdued back section. I like both of them. I can understand how kind of the more like kind of funny backing instrumentation doesn't work as well with the harder delivery, but I think it's such a great flow, and he switches it up so much, like in the back half too, that it kind of works off itself.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with his rapping at all. I just think they needed, around 150, they needed to keep those instruments in. They dropped them out just a little bit too early, I feel.
Yeah, keep a little more energy there.
Yeah.
I can agree with that one. But also mix up within the back half where he kind of brings the energy down with the instrumental.
Yeah. And he can carry it from that point with no instruments. That would work fine even if there was nothing playing. But the earlier part definitely needed them, just due to the style of it. And, of course, you already mentioned the Pac-Man death sound to end the song.
Nice little touch. Obviously, the song's called Pac-Man, but, it's just a cute little thing. I think the song also exemplifies the fact that, even though it's a feature-heavy album, that, there's a lot of 2D's vocals in this one, in this whole album. So, he's not kind of pushed to the side like he was in Humans.
Very classic 2D filter on this one as well.
Yes. They have not dropped that, and probably will never drop that.
No, they won't. I mean, it sounds great. Why would they?
No. I mean, I still like it.
Yeah. Jumping to track number 5, then.
Yes, track number 5.
Chalk Tablet Towers.
Chalk Tablet Towers, featuring St. Vincent. Which she is obviously featured on the album, but she's also a writer on the on this song.
Is she?
Which I think is very apparent just from this like very 90s like bubbly dance song vibe that the whole song goes for.
Yeah, this one didn't do it for me. There was some auto tuning on 2D in this one, which I didn't like. That didn't sound very good in my opinion. It was a bit too T-Pain-y. I don't know if you picked up on that.
No, I did. It was a lot more obvious than many songs.
Because they used it really well in which one did we talk about? Which one was it? In the Valley of the Pagans. They had some auto tuning there as well to kind of match the synthesizer. But in this one, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of the auto-tune on this one, but I actually do quite like the kind of dance instrumental with that kind of bubbly synth in the back. St. Vincent's vocals are fun as well. I don't think she has a solo, but like on the chorus, she comes in with 2D, and they pair pretty well.
That chorus, all I could think of was freaking Kids in America by Kim Wilde. There's no basis for it, but I couldn't think of anything else whenever the chorus would come up. And that kind of just killed the song for me.
Hey, that's on you, not on
I know, that's completely just me, but I have a biased opinion of this song because of it.
Yeah, no, the instrumentation one, this is kind of a black sheep on the album. Like, it feels a lot more like a St. Vincent song than a Gorillaz song.
Yeah, it just sticks out a bit too much for me, especially coming off of, like, Pac-Man.
Yeah, so her DNA is really deep in this one, which leads to a very bubbly pop sound, which I like, but also I don't think it necessarily elevates it above the other songs.
No, and it's not that it's a bad song. It's a bit too different.
It's a little startling.
Yeah.
Like,
which is weird saying how we've been saying every song is so different. It's like this is even way further out there than anything else.
Yeah, it feels like a whole different genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good genre shift, but maybe a little could have used a little lead up into it.
Yeah, I think slapping it between Pac-Man and the Pink Phantom was a bit of a misstep, but where else are you going to put it? There's not really anything that sounds like it.
Yeah, it's hard to lead into this sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, we can, speaking of which, we can go to track number 6, The Pink Phantom, featuring Elton John in Black.
Which, Pink Phantom was the most recent track, correct?
Yes, that one came out in...
That was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's released in the beginning of October. Yeah, it was episode 7 released beginning of October. their next music video for Valley of the Pagans is coming out soon, which I'm excited for that because that's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Pink Phantom is a piano-led song, with obviously heavy synth undertones. Man, Elton John, you gotta have piano.
Of course.
And he got Elton John on a Gorillaz song, and also Black, but mostly Elton John.
Mostly Elton John. Can we just be candid here, Cooper, before we start talking about the song?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, fun fact, Sam, you have listened to another song of his.
Have I?
He was on the Selena Gomez album that we listened to a while back. He was featured on one of the songs there.
That's ringing slight bell. I think he was just as shit in that one as well.
Yes, I also didn't like him on that song either.
Why is he in this song?
I'm not sure. I think we could have done without it. It's dichotomous because, like, obviously Elton John has a very theatrical, emotional performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's Elton John, right? He's extra on everything. While on the other hand, Black has this kind of very subdued, almost kind of sleepy, auto-tuned kind of thing going on.
Cooper, you're being way too nice. His part sucks ass. It's really bad. He should not be in the song. It
sticks out. I've never liked Black as an artist. And I think when you pair him up next to, there's even a part of this, like, the song where it's back and forth between Black and Elton John. And you're like, one of these I like significantly more than the other.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I've literally only heard him in 2 features. Not a good artist. Never going to listen to him. Get out of the songs. You don't need to be featured. Like, if you're trying to be alongside Elton John, it's like Elton John and then Six Lack. Okay.
Black.
He's not a good artist.
Yeah, I don't care for it. It's probably the worst feature on this album,
which is a shame because he's next to the best feature on the album.
Yes, which kind of leads to makes me a little split on this song. I mean, he's not in this song too much.
Thankfully.
He's probably like 30 seconds of the song, 45 seconds of the song.
Still 30 to 45 seconds too much.
But still, not really. It doesn't really mesh well with the rest of the song. Though the song's got some great Elton John singing. Like I said earlier, Elton John, in his older age, has really dropped an octave.
Holy, I didn't realize how he's got some powerful bass in this song.
Yeah, he's like completely changed his style from when he's younger. Because obviously he was known for his high singing, but now he's like dropped down.
But it's still Elton John, so it still sounds like Elton John. But holy crap, his voice sounds beautiful. I mean, it always has, but I'm a big fan of bass voice.
Yeah, and it works very well over this piano ballad.
Mm-hmm.
It's got this beautiful piano breakdown at 145. And kind of most of the instrumentation is pretty sparse, which kind of helps drive focus into Elton John / Black.
Yeah, did you hear those clackers?
Clackers? I don't think so.
Because I'd never heard them before. I listened to the song quite a few times already, but it wasn't until I sat down to type stuff out that there's like some clackers far in the back on only the left ear that are not in any sort of beat. They're just constantly like randomly clacking in the background.
I did not notice that, so I guess it wasn't a significant part of the song. But
yeah, it was the only reason I heard them once and then I could never unhear them is what it was.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to it and not paying attention, you'll be fine. But if you're listening to it like, oh, is there any cool instruments here? Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, no, it's terrible,
Yeah, no, it's... I still quite like the song, even though I think the Black feature was... I can't even say misused. I just don't care for him.
Yeah, I don't understand what the motivation was to do that.
I mean, Elton John on the Gorillaz song is like... He delivers.
Yeah, I mean, this easily would have been my favorite song had it not been for Black on this one.
We can now go to track number 7, Aries, featuring Peter Hook and Georgia, who these aren't vocal features, these are instrumental features, with Peter Hook being the bassist and Georgia the drummer. Which, Peter Hook, of course, is the from Joy Division. I'm not sure if you've listened to any of their stuff, Sam.
The name rings a bell.
Like, I'm not a super big fan of theirs either, but
they got a famous song that I would recognize the name of.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. Love Will Tear Us Apart. What song is that? Let me quickly play that in my ears just so I can get reminded.
Yeah, I can't play it on this. We'll get DMCA takedown.
That's true.
Apparently, all it takes on Twitch now is you get one music claim and they just delete your Twitch. They're not even like.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I've heard the song. It's not like super familiar to me. But even just from the little I know, Joy Division this is a very Joy Division-esque song. This like kind of very dreamy guitar-led song. And it's both like low key, but also like slaps.
Yeah, it was very simplistic, strong bass with smooth lyrics, and I don't know, it's powerful but smooth.
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I don't like is the clapping.
Like a shaved weightlifter.
Sure, okay. That's not where I would go with it, but to each their own.
Yeah, it's barely even clapping though. It's almost more like a percussion smack.
It is, but I'm just like I said earlier, I've just become hyper aware of it because of Green Day.
It's far enough from that I can kind of push it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the chorus on here, very good. Like this is probably the best 2D vocals on the entire album, I think. Just the chorus has such emotion, and of course with the guitar and drums in the back, chef's kiss.
And the progression in this song, I think, just exemplifies everything that Gorillaz is good at. Like, Gorillaz has always been good at song progression, but this one is very, very good.
And it has one of the, from my point of view, one of the most quintessential Gorillaz song qualities. And the fact that the first time I heard it, I wasn't sure if I liked it. But now after multiple re-listens, I kind of love it.
Is that the kind of vibe they want to go for, though?
I mean, there's at least one of those on every single album of theirs I listen where I'm like, this is all right. And then I listen to it, I'm like, is this like the best song they've ever made?
Yeah.
Super fast jellyfish all over again.
I like super fast jellyfish from the get-go. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you liked it out of the gate.
But my taste in music is questionable.
But yeah, this is a, I mean, even though obviously it's got the Joy Division like DNA infused, I think that style works a lot more with Gorillaz than St. Vincent style did. Like that kind of low-key electronica led.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And
the music video of the song is like them like driving down a highway, which I think is very apt for this song type.
Yeah, it's almost like what is it? 2D is being seduced by Murdoch again or whatever.
Yeah, by like the dark side. And he goes drive to think.
Except Murdoch's with him.
Well, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, the one consistent thing in all the music videos now is that Noodles is the only one that is responsible. Yeah,
and that Murdoch is kind of being pushed to the side, but that's kind of been their overall like arch.
Also, sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying, obviously, if you don't know the lore of the band, that probably doesn't make much sense.
No, yeah.
But
the other lore is Murdoch has turned lime green, which I thought he was from the start, but apparently he wasn't.
No, he just gets greener every album.
We were doing the comparison the other day because Cooper told me this, and I'm like, there's no way. He's always been green. I'm like, I don't remember when he wasn't green. He's like, go look at Feel Good Inc. And he's ham-colored in that one. And
now he's progressively greener.
Bright green. I'm like, oh.
Like a neon green.
I didn't realize. They just turn up the gain every time.
You just don't remember because the last album came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's probably that green. But yeah, great song. With some great instrumental and great vocals. I don't know. It's the package.
It is. And speaking of good songs, one that's not is track number 8.
Friday the 13th, featuring Octavian. Yes. I'll say on the other side. So Octavian is the lead vocals on this song. He's a French-British rapper. And I don't...
That's generous.
I don't quite care for his kind of sing-songy, crooning, like, very rough vocal stylings.
And then at 50 seconds, he's not even singing anymore. He's just talking. Calling it rapping would be generous at that point.
Yeah, more like rasping, because he's got a raspy voice, huh?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Man, it sounds like he needs to drink a glass of water throughout the song. Which I guess is his style, sure. I don't think it works well on... This song's got one of the more skeletal instrumentals.
Yeah, there's no instruments in the whole song.
It's very empty.
It tries to rely completely on this guy's vocals, which are shit at best. And there's more instruments that come in as time goes on, but it's not enough to save it.
I mean, the vocals have like a little personality. It's not like Black's where it's like just straight boring. But they do not deserve that. Like here's the main chorus is Octavian's vocals.
Yeah, he doesn't sound good.
And they had some flavors to the song, like some trumpets pop in a little bit. There's a little bit of 2D singing on the ass end of the song for like 30 seconds.
He says 3 lines. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
call
exactly. Yeah, but the song's like this one's half baked, honestly.
I'd say quarter baked.
Yeah, not even
with the wrong vocalist.
Yeah, this is the one song that's like a straight misstep on the album, I feel.
Yeah.
Which should just been like cut or added to the deluxe edition or something. Yeah.
You don't understand, man. It's called Friday the 13th because it's like that.
What?
I don't know. Just somebody trying to defend the song.
Not even creepy.
Yeah.
Not even a spooky song. Yeah, the song doesn't have a lot of personality. I don't care for Octavian as a feature, so
it's also bad. Jump into the next one if you're ready.
This is the skip of the album.
Yeah, definitely skip it.
Next song is Dead Butterflies featuring Kano and Roxana Aries. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Interesting fact about these features. Kano was previously on Plastic Beach. He was the rapper on White Flag. If you remember that song, Sam. No, White Flag for White Flag.
Oh, yeah, the one that I would skip depending on my mood.
Yes, which was also a grower for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And Roxana Aries, who, as far as I can tell, has never been on any song besides this one.
Which is interesting, because she actually was one of the better parts of this, one of the better vocalists on this song.
Yeah, I tried to find anything about her. I looked her up on Spotify and on the internet, and the one song I referred to was this one.
Breakout
so I guess
song.
She's extremely new artist, but
maybe she was
singer.
Instrumental before.
Possibly, but she's a new person on the scene. I really like her vocal stylings. We haven't had that much female singing. A little bit of St. Vincent on track 5, but hers is just like straightforward, and I think it works pretty well.
Yeah, this is the song I was talking about where 2D's vocals do not work. Like, it's got the heaviest filter on it I've heard in a long while, and then it has a trap, kind of like a trap house beat with soft vocal and pianos. And his style just does not fit whatsoever with the instrumentals. As soon as Roxanne, how'd you say it?
Roxanne? I don't know how it's pronounced.
Aries comes in, it's immediately like 100 times better.
Yeah, her vocal stylings work a lot better for this song.
Also, Kano and her vocal stylings fit the song perfectly. 2D's, not so much.
Yeah, this is the one song. Like, honestly, I'm glad how much singing Damon Albarn does on this album, but this is the one song he probably should step back a bit because it doesn't work as well. But the features here, I think elevate the song a lot more.
Oh,
obviously, Kano's British rapping works over this crap beat, but that's also got a mellow instrumental over it. It's a kind of interesting dichotomy that really feeds off each other. And obviously, Roxana's singing is like so silky smooth. Mm-hmm. They really vibe well next to each other.
Yeah, I definitely think 2D could have probably set this one out, especially in the back half of the song where he comes back in with some more auto-tune. There's been a lot of auto-tune on this album. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Honestly, I think for the most part it works.
Yeah.
Just whenever it becomes like a little blurringly obvious, it detracts a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like on this song with his vocals.
Yeah.
I don't say it's a bad song. Like I said,
no, it's a good song. It's just like, thankfully he's not in it for very long. Yeah,
it's mostly the chorus that repeats like twice, but. So not exactly a straight winner, but it's got a lot of good elements in it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of character.
And hopefully this Roxanne, if this is her breakout song, I wish her the best. I mean, being featured on a Gorillaz album is a good first feature.
Pretty good first feature, yeah. Speaking of pretty good features, jump into track number 10.
Ooh, track number 10.
Désolé.
Featuring, I'm gonna mispronounce her name, Fatoumata Diawara. I'm just gonna call her Diawara. Who is a vocalist. She is from Mali. I can't even say that. She's Mali, and she's actually won multiple Grammys for world music and for dancing record.
Ah,
So
yes,
she's a
world
Grammy awarding
music. Anything that's not Western music.
Exactly, which I mean Mali isn't, but yeah. So she's Malian. Is that how it's pronounced? Malian.
Malayan.
Malayan singer, and she's this is also, I should note, this is the extended version of the song.
Yes,
this actually a little shorter, and which is I'm happy because just getting more of the song is great. Where it's just kind of guitar led, almost bossa nova esque style beat going on it.
It's very chill but fast tempo.
Yes. And this song is 2D's vocals works a hell of a lot better.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of downplayed vocals, kind of crooning over it. And then, of course, Diawara's kind of pops off on the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
She has a beautiful voice.
Don't know what she's saying. It's in a different language, but it's beautiful.
And this is a song. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a song that it starts deceptively simple, but then kind of builds and builds.
Mm-hmm.
Like each bridge kind of adds a little something more till by the end of the song, you're just like, I'm liking where I'm at.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, this was the second Song Machine song as well.
Yes.
So it's been out for a hot second, but I've liked it from from when it was released. I think that there's several languages because they've got English, obviously. I don't know what she's speaking.
It might be Maldi's language, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think 2D does some French in there as well.
I think Désolé's French, right?
You'd think I'd know after taking how many years of French?
Yeah, you didn't. I didn't even take French, and I knew that. It means sorry in French.
I didn't realize it was French. You learn something every day.
Oh.
But it's a beautiful song. Though my one biggest complaint is that shitty horn breakdown.
What at
320?
Like, yeah,
it's a keyboard horn, and it's so bad. And then a real trumpet comes in towards the end of it. It's like, if you have access to the real brass, why use the shitty keyboard?
A little of a weird brass breakdown, but it's like 20 seconds.
I
maybe
know,
less.
But it's not enough to detract from. I mean, it detracts from the overall song, not that much, but it's not good.
I didn't hate it as much as you did. I don't think it added much to the song.
I think I just really have it out for keyboard horns.
I liked it up until the point that everything else dropped out and it's just the keyboard horn.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, that's the worst part of it.
But then it kind of hops back into the song. So I appreciate it as a structure. Like drop out, come back. Maybe not with this, but
yeah.
Then it kind of leads to the rest of the song, which I feel like combines all the components together with the actual trumpet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then at 4:30, when she kind of goes off, there's some quarter steps in there as well, which I'm a big fan of. Gotta love me some of that quarter step music.
Oh yeah, just a fun, just like a really feel good song. I'm assuming it's sadder because it's titled "Sorry."
Yeah,
but not being able to speak most of the language.
And it's like a 5.5 minute song. It definitely doesn't feel that long, but it's it's long.
It flies by, especially since it's the extended edition.
Yeah,
which kind of has this like mellow outro to play it out, which I quite like.
Yeah, just a little bit more instrumentals at the end.
Yeah, solid song.
Very solid. Jumping on to the final track then, on the version we're talking about.
Yeah, standard edition final track is Momentary Bliss featuring Slowthai and Slaves. Slowthai being the kind of British singer and Slaves being the rapper.
Mm-hmm. Now, Cooper, you were speaking earlier. Let's see if I can talk and type at the
Sorry.
time.
Slowthai's the rapper, singer and rapper, and Slaves is the kind of the punkier part of it.
Yeah. You were speaking earlier about how Gorillaz always has the one song where you initially hate it and then it grows on you.
Right.
This is that one song for me. I despised it the first time I heard it, and now I hear it, I'm like, man, this is a fucking banger.
Because it kind of pulls you in, because it's instrumental's not like insanely intricate at the beginning,
but it's unique.
and obviously Slowthai is kind of a very kind of breathy, grimy British performance.
Yes.
It requires some growing, but after a while, you're like, it kind of really grows on you. You're like, you're so special, you know. It gets into you.
Yeah, well, especially at 110 when the guitar, like stronger guitar, comes up and matches him. That's just kind of when it all clicks together.
Yeah, and it's got this almost like ska delivery on the guitar. It's got like it's like ska, punk, and reggae had this unholy bastard child, and it somehow ended up being a good song.
Yeah. Initially, like I said, I initially hated the song when I listened to it the first time, but now I actually really like the song.
Yeah, it's just so fun. And like I said, it touches on like these like three very different genres that somehow like blend together very well when they're done like this. It's also got some 2D. He's on the bridge where it's like saying "poster boy," and just every part of the song is like a little different, and they all slap. Some of the best features on the album too, just of how like well integrated in the song they are. Plus, I'm not sure how much you noticed, but like the verses have all these like little vocal flourishes of these guys in the background going like just saying like little random one-liners. It's adds so much to the song.
Yeah, I think I heard a couple of them. I didn't write any of them down, but. And it's got some good energy coming off of Désolé as well, which is kind of a slower song. There's been quite a few slow songs on this album, so ending on this kind of more powerful out there song felt right. It felt like the best song to end on, which is why I'm glad we ended here, because I'm like, I can't imagine going on from this to anything else.
You know, the rest of the deluxe album has some good songs. Like I said, some good features. But it definitely is like the deluxe kind of B-side-ish kind of things.
Yeah.
Maybe not as filled out, but as a like complete, as like a standard package. Momentary Bliss is like it's a powerful ending because it just feels fun and like just kind of like telling you about like, you know, find happiness, and like this weird British guy in this like punk band is just like it's kind of scream rapping at you, and you're like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah. It's a good song. It's grown on me. This is the grower for me.
Yeah, and it that ends off the album, the standard edition at least.
Yes, I didn't put that in the title, but oh well.
But yeah, so that's Song Machine, Season 1, Strange Times.
So Cooper, would you like to do the? I can't remember who did the rating system last week.
Well, we got to do our favorite and least favorite first. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let's not go too far into it. But
I'm just so excited.
I don't blame you. I will say that how about let's do least favorite first, because I think we're in agreement.
I think we're going to say the same thing, Cooper. I don't even think we have to.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Friday the 13th.
There's no Cooper. It's just Friday 13th.
Oh yeah, Friday 13th. Yeah, this is the one miss on the album for me. Not a great feature. Not a great instrumental. Very skippable. I guess it's listenable, kind of. I don't care for Octavian's delivery, but yeah, this is probably the one like get rid of it song.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I would say don't listen to it, skip it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but on the other end, favorite songs. This one's actually pretty hard for me to decide, because kind of the given that they've been originally singles for this album since like beginning of January, right? Some of these songs have had a lot longer to sit on than others, which is kind of a interesting way to enter this album. But if I had to narrow it down to my top 3, I've kind of switched between three like on and off. Is Désolé, obviously. Great song, very mellow bossa nova beat with an amazing feature. Momentary Bliss. It's just a fun kind of punk ska song. Just makes me that each time I listen to it, I like it a little bit more. Right? It's like
100% agreement.
It's like those characters in RPGs that like start with shit stats, but if you like put time into them, they like become like gods. That's this song. And then also Aries. I'm quite a fan of Aries, with just a great instrumental, some great vocals, and probably the most singable chorus on the album for me. So yeah, it's I kind of flip between all 3 of those as my favorite song of the album. How about you, Sam?
I am firmly in the Désolé camp. While Momentary Bliss has grown on me, I love Désolé from the get-go, and it's just a good song. Yeah, I don't have any more praises to give it than I already have. Momentary Bliss has grown on me. If I had to choose a second one, it would probably be that. I mean, other than I know we already talked about worse, but other than Friday 13th, everything else was pretty good. Like there was nothing that was like I was getting down to like I got to Aries, and I'm like I don't have a least favorite so far. I mean, maybe Chalk Tablet Towers, but even that was just like I didn't like it. Like it wasn't a bad song, I just didn't like it. And then I listened to Friday. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's put that there. That's the worst one.
Now makes it easy to choose the least favorite song. So convenient.
But yeah. So now that we've done that,
now we got that.
Now we got to rate the album.
Yes.
I don't think I've done the rating system in a hot second, so I'll
you want to do it? Give the audience an explanation.
So here at Audio Shop, we have a 1 out of 5 classic 1 out of 5 rating system, where 5 out of 5 is showroom, cream of the crop rises to the top, and then 1 out of 5 is scrapyard. And we decided to go with a car theme because we mistakenly thought that people went to mechanics. So we're like, audio shop, right? You go to the shop to get fixed up. But then we kind of realized, and initially all of these were medical themed, and it was a very different podcast. And then after the first show, one of our friends are like, hey, it's called a doctor, right? And then we had to revamp the show because we didn't want to drop the name. The name stuck.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I'm going to give this... you know what? I think I'll give it... I think a low showroom.
There it is. There it is.
While it's a very good album, I feel like it just doesn't have that wow factor. You know what I'm talking about? I
don't think it...
Go ahead.
It might not... Oh, sorry. I'm interrupting your review.
No. Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
No. I sort of agree. Maybe part of that just we've heard all the singles leading up to it, so it's not like you're getting the full package all at once.
But yeah, I definitely think it deserves showroom status. But I don't know. It's just lacking a little bit of something. I don't know what it was. That secret spice. Maybe it's because you know what? I think I know what it is. It's because I'm a sucker for continuity albums. And this one is very much a singles album. So that feeling in my gut's like, it's a singles album. You can't give it showroom, But because I listened to the continuity albums of yesteryear, and this is definitely not one. But it definitely deserves the showroom status.
No, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one, Sam, and also give it a showroom. I agree with the idea that it's not as a kind of like you said continuous as like say the Now had a very very localized vision, right?
Yeah,
the vibe carries the entire album, and even Plastic Beach, which is very feature heavy, even has a kind of a more unique identity.
Yeah,
which of course continuous theme. That kind of holds it all together. This one's identity is kind of like it's kind of its lack of identity, right? That it's a package of singles.
They all sound like Gorillaz. That's what it is.
Yes, they all have a distinct sound, but not like a unifying theme between them. But even despite that, I mean, this song is a 10 out of 11. That's over 90%. Where like over half the songs I love. Less than half I at least really like.
Mm-hmm.
One I don't like. And there's like several songs in this album I've just been playing through my playlist, and just going through the whole album and having it all in one place just makes it more convenient and more just more listenable. I thoroughly enjoy this project, and I'm excited for them doing a season 2 of it. I think obviously we were a little on the ropes with the Gorillaz after Humans. We're like, they came back after like 6 years and make a bad album. No one's see that. With the Now and now Song Machine, I think it's fair to say that they're back, baby, in full force.
Yeah, it's definitely been solid, very solid. And that's the end of Audio Shop for this week. Now we're gonna roll on over to The Spare Tire, which is
Yes.
just whatever else we've been listening to during the week, since especially since this came out on Friday, so we had time.
Yes.
And not because we didn't pick something earlier in the week, it's because we were waiting on this album.
We gotta wait for it, you know?
Yeah.
Couldn't listen to it until it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, but how about you? What have you been listening to?
I've Traveling Wilburys.
Goodness.
Listen, I listened to the Traveling Wilburys on my way into work. On my way home from work, I listened to the Report of the Week podcast. That's been my past week.
Goodness. Dude, a review.
No, his podcast is different.
Okay. Talks about what tie he's buying that day.
No, he just kind of talks about things. In February, that's how I learned about coronavirus, because he was talking about it.
Dude was at the ground zero.
Yeah, and from his podcast, I remember in February, it was March. I texted my sister, because that's when it was starting to get a little bit bad in China. And he was keeping me up to date, because I obviously don't keep up with Chinese news, because most of it is propaganda, but most of it United States is as well. But besides that point, U.S. isn't at least state controlled. But I was like, he's like, I don't think this is going to become a pandemic. And I'm like, from what I've been hearing, this is 100%. We're not smart enough to stop this. It's going to be a pandemic in the U.S. So I remember texting my sister like, hey, make sure you have stuff, like thinking about like what would I need in case grocery stores sell out of food, because they're going to. And then the pandemic hit. So
yeah, and then we all ran out of toilet paper for like a week.
Yeah. But yeah, just listening to podcasts pretty much. What about you?
Yeah, I've listened to a couple albums this week. Not as many as usual, but I listened to a nice album of by Miki Matsubara. It's kind of like a 80s Japanese pop singer. She has a nice kind of best of album that I listened to. No, so if you're in that kind of Japanese summer pop vibe, that's a good album.
Odd decision to be getting into summer pop during fall.
It's just feel good music. I like to listen to it. And it's Japanese, so I don't have to like pay attention to the lyrics or anything. It's just kind of all vocal or lyrical. And also the new Dorian Electra album, My Agenda, which is a very interesting album. It's basically Dorian Electra is kind of this electric kind of pop artist. And this album's kind of from the from the perspective of like an edgelord. I mean, there's literally a song on it called Edgelord, featuring Rebecca Black of all people. Remember her?
Oh yeah, what's she been up to?
Apparently on this new Dorian Electra album. But it's a little bit of a concept album. It's only like 20 minutes long, but it's pretty hilarious. It's kind of mixed a lot of energy and like it goes for like a very aggressive, edgy style. I didn't quite like, but I thought the message behind it was pretty hilarious. Like one of the songs is called "My Agenda," the title track, and it's kind of making fun of people who like talk about the gay agenda. Like the lead artist is gay, and he's like, I'm out here, I'm trying to get your kids to convert to the gay way. So very, very funny, very funny album. One of my favorite songs on it is "Sorry, Bro," which is him apologizing to his bro just because he loves him so much.
It's nice when artists have fun with it. They're just making it because they want to.
Yeah. Plus his previous album, Flamboyant, was that straight slapped. So maybe I liked it less from a musical side, but it was a pretty funny album.
But yeah. Got anything, final closing statements?
No, I think I'm just very satisfied with this album.
Yeah.
Very happy Gorillaz came through once again, of course.
Yeah, it was a bit out of the blue. I didn't realize it was launching so soon. I had read some rumblings of it, but I didn't read the release date. So
yeah, very happy.
So thank you all very much for listening to the Audio Shop podcast this week. If you like what you heard and you want to see if there's any other podcasts that you would like, you can go on down to the picture of Jeff Lynne. You click on that. He's the guy with the curly hair and the glasses, by the way. You click on that on our Twitch page. It'll take you to YouTube. And then you can watch all the past ones there. Again, I think I've been uploading them, but I don't think I've been making them public. So I need to check on that because there might be a backlog of like 3 or 4 podcasts that are just sitting there waiting to go live. But I'll try and get this one up in a timely manner because this one might actually get some views. But if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you hear, you can click in the link to go to Twitch. We're live Sundays at 8 p.m. And you can watch and comment in the stream chat.
Yeah, and if you want to know when what we're going to review, follow us at AudioShop14 on Twitter. We'll let you know what we're reviewing, and it's always 7 p.m. Eastern, or Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I got it wrong. And you can join us here to live chat.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you later, shoppies.
See you later, shoppies. See ya.